Hey everyone, Daniel and Gav here from IGN, and we're doing the Rewind Theater for Telltale's Game of Thrones, Episode 2, The Lost Lords.
Yes, we are. Now, the first sort of minute or so is just recapping on what went before.
Without too many spoilers, so it's not going to spoil it if you haven't played Episode 1 just yet.
This is Mira Forrester, who's the oldest Forrester sister. So we were introduced to the Forresters in the first episode.
An entirely new family, really, not known from the TV series.
Yeah, sort of referred to a couple of times in the books, but very, very, very briefly, which is, I guess, why Telltale have chosen these guys, because they can pretty much do what they want.
Yeah, and also they're kind of similar to the Starks without having the Starks. They're bannermen to the Starks. They're based in the north, and this is their daughter who was sent to King's Landing.
Yeah.
I think this was one of my favourite bits from the first episode. It's kind of almost like a boss fight where you have to take on Cersei in this like war of words.
Yeah, definitely. Like, so Mira is Marjorie Tyrell's lady in waiting, so she's sort of just hanging around with the Tyrells just before. It's way, way before, obviously, Marjorie's going to marry Joffrey.
Yeah, and because takes place, spoilers, just after the Red Wedding.
Yeah.
Obviously, tensions are running high between the South and the North, and because Mira is from a Northern family, there's a lot of suspicion surrounding her, and in this scene, she has to prove her loyalty to Joffrey and the South.
I mean, because without going into too much detail, in the first episode, you are told by Marjorie, don't ever tell Cersei what you actually think.
Yeah.
So it's a really, really, as Telltale sort of things go where you have to make these different decisions, it's a really tough one because Marjorie's looking at you the entire time and you can't actually let her know what you actually want, but you still want something from Marjorie as well, which is really...
And I think they're really trying to prime you in this first minute what the whole game's like, because there's a line from Mira, it says, it doesn't matter what you feel, it matters what you say.
Yeah.
It says. Should we play on a little bit?
Yes. She looks really sad.
Her dad's just died, to be fair.
That is fair enough, yeah. So this is the little bit of the war then we saw, a little bit of the battle, just straight after the Red Wedding.
Yeah, and in that you're playing Garrett Tuttle, and in that Lord Gregor dies, who's the head of the Forrester family, kicks off a chain of events, and also Roderick Forrester as well, the eldest son.
Yeah. So it basically leaves the Forresters with like their eldest and strongest characters, family members. They're out of here again, which then leads in quite nicely to where you have to go.
Yeah, so in this scene, this is kind of towards the end of episode 1, where as young Ethan Forrester, who inherits the title,
that's right, yeah,
he has to face Ramsay Snow.
And there's a huge couple of scenes leading up to that, and spoilers. Are we going to talk about spoilers in this?
Yeah, go for it. So let's assume you've played the first episode.
So spoilers, actually, like from the first episode, I was a little bit peeved because you spend quite a lot of time as Ethan choosing who's going to be your right-hand man, but then it doesn't really matter because you get killed. Like the sort of episode ends with Ethan being killed no matter what by Ramsay Snow. But this bit that we are actually watching here was new to me because I never chopped up. This is a thief that's brought to you, and you have to decide what to do.
As one of them, you've got to prove yourself as a leader. I chopped his hand off.
Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't. I let him go.
He stole stuff.
Yeah, I know, but
I wanted to prove that I was the rightful heir.
I wanted to be a merciful heir, but it didn't.
I want people to live in fear of me.
Actually, he looks pretty mean there. So yeah, this was new to me because I didn't chop off his hands. But yeah, I mean, for me, one of the standouts, always the standout characters is Ramsay the Bastard Snow.
Yeah, he's a really dangerous presence in the TV show and in the game.
And he's Welsh.
Oh, well, okay, favoritism.
But yeah, he's a really, really big part of the second episode, like, because it's one of those really, really good Telltale sort of uses where they bring in a character that you think you're doing the right thing and you think you're saying the right thing to sort of appease them, but because he's Ramsay the Bastard Snow, he doesn't care.
No, he's quite a Joker-like character.
Yeah. So this is the scene. So Garrett Tuttle, his father's just been killed by Ramsay the Bastard Snow's guys, and you can decide what to do with these people. What did you do?
I think I killed him.
I killed everyone.
Yeah. King's Landing. Not much more to say about that.
It doesn't matter what you feel.
So yeah, this is where Mira's saying it doesn't matter what you feel, it matters what you say. Again, learning to play the game.
Definitely, yeah.
So this is the scene where it's decided it's best for Garrett to leave and head north to the Wall.
Right.
That's his uncle in the background, Duncan.
Yeah.
And you tell Duncan a secret in the first episode. Did you tell Duncan the secret?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, still waiting for that to pay off, but
Yeah.
we'll see where Garrett's heading shortly.
There he is.
Yeah, so, when we get onto the new stuff at the end of the trailer, this is going to play a prominent part in The Lost Lords.
And this is the first glimpse that we've got of it, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And again, so this is one of your main scenes with Tyrion. He was kind of impressed with the way that you handled yourself, although he was definitely in my game. He was he was somebody that he said he was going to be watching out for me and seeing the kind of decisions I was making, which is kind of cool.
There's the quote that matters.
Ooh, big, powerful, shocking. IGN.
Nothing comes without a cost.
So this is the other Forresters. That's the mother of the family and the two younger siblings.
So presumably, is that little kid going to be taken over now? Because you can choose whether or not to send him off, can't you?
We will get to that in a minute.
Right. Okay. So here we go.
Here we go.
Some
now this is the new stuff. Because
Yeah.
obviously they want to keep it short because they don't want to get into spoilers for the next episode. Right, so this is across the narrow sea. This is Yunkai. This is one of the main locations. You'll probably know it from the TV show. And this is a city that its main export is slaves.
Right.
And if you watch the TV show, this is where Daenerys goes to free the city.
Right.
And say, throw off your chains.
Yeah.
I'll be your liberator. And they start calling her mother.
So it's all part of the Essos continent, which is referred to quite a lot, and pretty much where anytime we see Daenerys, that's where she's
always
about,
been so far in the TV show. So who is this dude?
This is Asher Forrester. So he's the second-born son of Lord Gregor Forrester. So he's been exiled, and not much information I don't think we
don't
had
know why
about
he's
why
been
he was
exiled. And
Yeah.
I think in the first episode, you can look at a painting of the entire family.
Right.
And he's looking off in a different direction. So I think he's always been the
Okay.
black sheep. We don't know why he was exiled. But after the death of his father and Roderick,
Yeah.
he was he was next in line. But because he's, gone AWOL,
Yeah.
it fell to Ethan. But now following Ethan's death, it's all been set up for him to return.
Yeah, and I think in the first one as well, whatever he's been, to me, like I was really intrigued to see why he'd been exiled, but actually they seemed to change their mind on that very quickly. It was like, we need to get him back, I think. This kid's out of his depth, and now he's dead. So he's talking to someone here who says...
So it's about we need money.
Yeah, with enough coin, you can do whatever we want.
It's a female voice. Don't know. Maybe it's Daenerys. Doesn't sound a lot like Emilia Clarke. We know Emilia Clarke is in the series at some point.
So yeah, you at one point said, what they're wearing there is almost like something that Daenerys would be wearing, but I don't think it is, and you'll see why in a second. So there we go. There he is.
Here's Garrett joining Jon Snow
At the wall. He looks very worried. Garrett doesn't smile much at all.
At the top of the wall. So maybe one of the things you have to do in the new episode is keep watch at night.
Yeah.
Bond with Jon Snow.
That would be pretty cool, actually.
They won't like you, but they're your brothers.
So serious,
Say
John.
the crown agrees to
So this is Tyrion in the second episode, presumably like everything that's been set up in the first now, because there's a load of Tyrion will remember this, Tyrion will remember this all the way through the first
Yeah, and as
episode.
Mira, you can form a kind of semi-alliance with Tyrion in the first episode, so hopefully there's going to be more of that stuff.
words solely from you. Lord Whitehill will be at your mercy, or you'll bring your houses to open walls.
So here we go. This is why I don't think that was Daenerys, because this is the same room you were in just now. But there's some table flipping going on. But hello, new person in the background there.
Yeah, so the audio could be taken from elsewhere and like superimposed over that scene, but we don't know who this guy is. Or maybe Darian Harris. I don't know, but yeah, it looks like it's about to kick off.
I don't know, man. I think that's a girl. Look at his lips. He's very pretty. But then so is Darian
He's
Harris.
androgynous.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
androgynous man.
But then we were also saying about these guards. Like, who are these guards? Are they the slaves that haven't been freed yet?
Yeah, or I don't know, like some kind of infantry in Yunkai.
Yeah, the kind of helmets they're wearing, that doesn't look like Daenerys's. Even though the swords on the back kind of look Daenerys-y, the
They're
helmets
definitely
definitely
not the
aren't,
no. So there you go, episode 2. When's it out, Gav?
It is out on PS3 and PS4 on February the 3rd, as well as PC, Mac, and Steam, February 4th on 360 and Xbox One, and February 5th on Android and iOS.
Cool, and for everything on Game of Thrones, whether that's the Telltale game, or the TV show, or the books indeed, stay right here on IGN.